AMD, Intel's big competitor.
Advanced Micro Devices, semiconductor company. All I hear about, I don't know anything about this, but all I hear about these chips are shorting and nobody can make anything.
Look at this chart, Uncle Seth. $1.70 there, and it's currently at, give or take, 75 bucks. This is Intel's big competitor. Back in the early 2000s, everybody's like, AMD is taking over the world. They're going to wipe Intel out. Didn't quite happen. Now everybody's saying that same story again. Not saying they're not going to take market share up, but remember, these things happen, and the hype is exciting, and the story is exciting, but it's hard to fight $18 billion a year in free cash flow like Intel has. I'm actually a very big proponent of Intel. I'm buying Intel as much as I can underneath $50 a share. I like their metrics. I think everything is exaggerated. Now, market cap, $90 billion, PE of 31, and a profit margin of 25. So X on PE, check mark on profit margin. No dividend, which is understood. High return on assets, 35%. They make a lot of money on their assets, guys. That's big stuff. They are in a downtrend right now. If you see on their 25, 50, 100, and 200-day moving average, they've hit below that. So just watch out for that. Look at this revenue growth, guys. You ready?
This is pillar number 3. Go ahead.
4.7 to 11.4 billion. Check mark there. Guys, they have great chips, and I'm sure people are going to love them. And it's evidence here in their revenue almost tripling.
Yeah, you know, it's funny, Paul. I forgot about this. Whenever we bring up these chips, a holy war starts in the YouTube comments of people just defending this stock or this company versus the other one. So I'm flustered already because the comments are rolling in. So, okay, let's do profit growth over the past 5 years.
They went from losing $420 million to making $2.9 billion. Check mark. And look at this $2.9 billion. It was coming off the heels of $500 million in profit. Massive jump in profit, guys.
Dang.
Massive jump.
Pillar number 5 is shares outstanding, Paul.
And I'm not surprised. The big killer, 940 to 1.2 billion. X there. So, guys, you guys all ignore, many people all ignore the shares outstanding. This has diluted everybody by 25% just by doing this. Just by doing this, they've diluted people. In the last 10 years, they've increased their shares by 70%. This is a huge killer. People don't see it. It's a silent killer. It's the carbon monoxide coming in your room at night. You don't see it, you don't hear it, you don't smell it, and all of a sudden you wake up dead.
Well, that's because you fart under your own sheets, don't you?
Because I'm single, I can do that.
You wake up dead.
So that's a problem for me. Balance sheet.
Pillar number 6 is current assets over current liabilities.
Well, here's what's wonderful. 7.2 billion in current assets. Current liabilities, 2.9, check mark. Total liabilities, 3.6. So they've got more cash on hand than all total liabilities completely, which is incredible.
Free cash flow growth is pillar number 7,
Well,
Paul.
this is going to be pretty impressive, I'm sure. You guys ready for our great software that does this, even though no other software does it? 4 million to 777 million. Check mark there. Now, here's the deal.
Oh, my God.
Here's the hard part. Their average is 165 million. But, guys, the last year was 777. Now, there is a chip shortage out there, which I'm sure has helped their profit, just like it helped Intel. The question we have to ask ourselves is, what's a reasonable assumption for free cash flow? I don't know, because look at the last 10 years, Seth. 130, negative 500, negative 230, negative 200, negative 300, 4, negative 100, negative 130, 276, 777. There's half these years are negatives, actually more negative and positive. So I look at this going, pick a multiple. Pick a multiple. Pick a number. 500 million? That's on the high side. That's really high. They're currently at 90 billion. That's 180 to 1. This thing has to grow like crazy to justify this value. Is that possible? It's possible. Is it probable? I don't know. Especially with Intel's commitment to spending their cash flow in terms of more R&D, growing. The Apple thing isn't as bad as people made out to be. I am still rather be a buyer of Intel than AMD.
I love the Apple thing. When we went through, so we did a Patreon only live like this, and we started going through the 10K of Intel, and what do we find? 1 to 3% of the revenue went to Apple, and everybody, I mean, that's all you see in the news. It's over for Intel, Apple. 1 to 3% of their revenue. Let's look at the chart of this. So it's certainly a downtrend right now. Hector in the chat pointed this out, that there's a lot of head and shoulders patterns. What a head and shoulders is basically you have your head, here's your smiley face, and you have shoulders. And the stock price usually declines afterwards. So we can go back all the way to 2019. Head, shoulders, decline. This was a massive head and shoulders here. Smile, shoulders, decline. So right now, they are in the midst of a decline. So what I would expect is if you want to short this, you can. Just be very careful because volume can come into this stock. Very popular. Everybody wants to own AMD if they're a money manager or hedge fund. So when this thing starts to turn up on you, be careful as it comes up. You might create another head and shoulders pattern and it might hit you very quickly. So just be cognizant of these head and shoulders patterns. You can see over the past year or two, they're real. It happens.
If this is confusing to you and you're new,
it's probably confusing if you're new.
Yeah.
But
Mo and I have launched an employed investor series where Mo is training an idiot like me on how to do this. We're taking it very slow, looking at these graphs and charts. And so follow along with this series as we move forward. A lot of people are excited about this, Mo, because you're saying we can dedicate an hour a week, an hour a month, and in terms of maybe getting into some trades like this.
But the point is we have a guy from the BitNet. He's the one that pointed this out to me when Paul was doing his thing. He said, I see a lot of head and shoulders. So he never looked at a chart in his life before, and he is doing this now. So he's the one that found this. I didn't even see it. So this stuff, you can learn it very easily, these head and shoulders patterns. There's no brilliance here. It's just following the same chart and the same patterns over and over and over, and you will get good at this if you want to put your time into it.
Okay, that's our take on AMD. Wow, people love this thing. Thanks so much for watching the video. We hope you were intrigued. If this style of investing speaks to you, click the link below to join our Patreon. As a patron, you get access to a wonderful community of like-minded investors where you can chat, connect, ask questions, and share ideas with badasses like you all over the world. The best part is you get the amazing Everything Money software. This is revolutionary, unlike any YouTube page. You can track your investments, look at stocks, and quickly run our 8-pillar analysis on any company you like. The top tier patrons get direct access to Paul and Trader Mo. You'll see their daily trades, their updated portfolios, and every options contract they write on a daily basis. We provide Patreon exclusive videos just for you, including live streams and exclusive content from our team. Our bottom patron tiers fill fast, so join today. But hey, if you don't believe me, look at all of our patrons' amazing success stories. In comparison to other financial platforms, our software is by far the best value. This is your chance to get serious about investing. If you're finally ready to level up your investing game, join our Patreon and let's start kicking ass together.